Nice to hear from you, man. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Hopefully you've been out there getting a chance to perform for your students and stuff. I started working the mall again, but I haven't really been performing as much because we're like 18 or we're 21 plus now. So, I still try to do it whenever I can, but anyway. So yeah, I was checking out the video. I don't have too much negative things to say at all. I think overall everything was pretty good. I think you're right about the spread pass. I think we talked about this before. It's good to, when you spread the cards, it's already returned. And the justification is, can you see these cards okay? Or you can see, it kind of like makes it easier. If you tell them that it makes it easier to see the cards, they believe you, I guess, It just feels normal if you do it like that. So instead of like having a card picked this way and then turning like this, that's a tell. That's a definite tell there. So usually when I perform the spread pass, I'll come in and I'll already be turned like this, right? So it makes it a little bit less awkward to like kind of, you don't have to turn. So there's no tell there. So I think you already know that. Just keep it in mind next time. You should be good. Also, with the spread pass, I probably have done this, talked about this too with you, but if you have no choice and you're surrounded, there's I think it's Marlowe? I'm trying to remember who does this move. It's not Marlowe. I can't remember who does it, but it's basically, you see that your card's right there in the middle. So if you're surrounded, you just do the spread pass, but then you just make it look like, you can see that's right in the middle. So you haven't placed the card back in your hand, you can see that's just about right in the middle there. So that's a nice way to do it if you have to perform correct on. Also another I don't like this handling at all, but if you aim your hands down towards the ground, like this, and then you tilt up when you swear, you can actually cover the pass that way as well, but then you have this kind of like awkward looking hand position. So the only way to get away with that really is just to do a fast pass, so just like, just leave it there. So it's misdirection based, if you wanted to perform more from this angle. But let's not talk, you've already gone over this before. With the double lift, and you know me, I'm constantly changing my double lift. Like every time we talk, I'm like, oh bro, you gotta check out this new technique I've been doing, and I always have some new thing, right? But yeah, what you're doing reminds me a lot of kind of what I'm doing right now with my double lift. I've been doing kind of a simulated push, but not really. It just looks like this. So that's kind of just how I've been doing it now. So I have the thumb, instead of up here at the corner, I put it here. That allows me to come in and get into that break at the back. So don't really necessarily need to use the ring finger to push it up, but it does help a little bit. Come in and contact the back corner with this part between the middle joint and the first joint here. The contact and push is up against the index finger, while the thumb is here, and you'll see it kind of lifts up from the back. The idea behind this is that you only do this for a second, so it just looks like boop, like that. So it doesn't look like I'm bending the card or doing anything back here, right? It's just a little boop, and it's done. So that's how I really, really love this double lift. It's probably the favorite one. It's my favorite one I've done so far. It's just really nice and secure, and it looks really elegant and simple. It looks pretty carefree. Like it should look like I'm barely trying to handle the cards that much. So boom, get my pinky out. Maybe I'll direct attention. Maybe I'll get my finger here first for a second, just so I can, instead of using my ring finger to lift up, I can just come here and do that, and then use my ring finger to hold it. Be like, actually, can you put it in your hand? And then it gives me a little bit extra leeway there, so I can come and get ready twice. So I have two get readies. Is what I'll do sometimes with that. So pinky count. I'm ready. I'll say, actually, here, what hand are you again? Are you left hand or right hand? Yeah, can you put out your right hand, and then you just kind of do the turnover like that. And then again, it's just the same kind of deal there. So all we're doing there is just, like I said, thumb on top here. You come into the break at the back and contact it, so it bends up at the back, and the thumb is here. And then one thing I actually have been doing too, let me reposition my hand here. These cards are like bowing underneath my hand for some reason. So with the thumb here, you can actually kind of do a simulated thumb push-off like that. So you've probably seen me do this a little bit here and there. So it kind of gives off this feeling that you're just pushing over the card with the thumb, and it's a turnover, so it's nice. it looks a lot less constrained than like a hand turnover where you get to turn it like this, which is fine. I have no problem with that at all. I think they're both good. But this one I do think just, it's really easy because all you gotta do is get that little break there. Thumb is here, you pull up at the back a little bit, boom, you bend, and then you release the finger at the front, and all you have to do is just bring it down to a finger so they can pivot. And it's like super easy, you can be really slow and deliberate with it, and the cards will stay really nice and together because you've got that bend. When you try to move them, they stay together. I think you're at the point now, I think we talked about this before too, I think you can start, I think you are working on your double turnovers, but I think you're at the point now where you can definitely start doing that. It does look a little bit more natural in my opinion, but concerning the actual double lift you're doing, it is all good, but I would just say maybe increase the speed of it so it doesn't look like you're being so deliberate with every action, because that's not really what you want the double lift to feel like, right? I want you to just turn over the card. So what you can do to make it look a little better, this looks a little awkward I think, is when you come in, you have like the card half bent like this as you're sliding up like this, and it looks like it's stuck, like it looks like the card's glued to the deck. You're like ungluing it from the deck, you know, which looks a little weird to me. It doesn't look very relaxed, which not really a big problem or anything, but in the pursuit of looking as natural as possible, I think one thing that would help is do what you're doing, but as soon as you get into the break and you got a secure grip here, you let go at the front so the card just pops up. Okay? You want that to happen fast. You don't want it to look like you're overhandling the cards. Like this looks like I'm way overhandling the cards when I'm like this, you know? Maybe a little bit, not way overhandling, but you know what I'm trying to say. So instead, I think it'd look better if you just kind of slide in like this, and then as soon as you're ready for the grip, you just let go there before you snap it off the deck. You don't want it to like pop off the deck while both these corners are down like this. It looks a little weird, in my opinion. So that's all I got on the double lift. And then for the Cardini, honestly, it looks really good. Looks really good. Don't have really anything to say about that. Looks like you're definitely watched my video earlier, because you definitely are kind of cleaning up how I like to do it. By the way, I figured out a nice way to make it silent too. I think I probably have talked about this too before, but if you just pull like this, so if you actually don't have your picky right here, you have it like, if you don't have it at the edge down here, which like most people do, you kind of clamp all your fingers up together like this, so that the pinky's up here, and then you can pull it backwards first, so it clears the thumb, and then it makes no sound when you pull it down. So it makes maybe very little sound. So, sorry. It's pretty much 100% silent, and I was kind of experimenting with this little vanish like this, because you can get the card like right at their eye like that, and you can basically show the whole deck. Kind of a little cool thing I'm working on. Kind of experimenting with kind of a smooth little rub vanish like that with the Cardini, and then yeah, I don't know if you tried what I was saying before, where you clip the card like this first, but honestly, it's such a nice way to keep from flashing at the bottom. Clean up. And yeah, so I think that's all my feedback, but it's really good to hear from you, dude. I actually have a Triumph I kind of want to show you right now. It uses all the moves that you know already, and I really like this Triumph. So, but please don't share the method with anybody. And you know, it's honestly, all these methods are well known, but the way that they're all put together, I think is I haven't seen it really that much. If I have, I don't remember, but it's a pretty nice, clean little Triumph. I'm going to show you it right now. I think you'll like it. It's actually pretty good. So it's an in the hands one. Sorry, I'm pouring myself a little drink here. Take the edge off my anxiety today. I was working all Black Friday and through the weekend, working long hours. I'm tired. My brain was melted, actually. I got home yesterday. I made a video for you, and I was like, dude, I sound like an idiot. Anyway, so let me show you what this Triumph is like. So basically, you let them shuffle the cards. I think that doesn't really matter for the Triumph, but you do want them at least to see that all the cards are mixed and different. That's not like a gaff deck. So I usually let them handle the cards and shuffle them first. And then just going to spread through and they can touch a card and place it back, or they can take a card and then you'll spread again and be like, okay, say stop, or place it back in your hand. So let's just say this is it. Pick the jack. I'm gonna leave the jack. Actually, no, let's do this. Oops, I fucked up. Let's start over again. I'll turn this way. So the jack of clubs, right? Cool. I'm just gonna leave it. Actually, no, I'm gonna shuffle it a little bit. But you know I'm a magician, so you know I can probably find it, right? So let's make it a little harder. Oh wait, I screwed up again. I forgot what I'm doing. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember this triumph really quick. I'm not gonna even perform it, dude. I'm just gonna show you how to do it and let you do whatever. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just gonna take a card, I'm gonna control it to the top. See, this is what I keep on feel weird about. So yeah, Mahatma control, that's usually what I do. I leave it a little bit messy like this. Now this uses a move that you're learning right now. Basically just go and square up the deck, and then I'll say something like, well, you know, I'm a magician, you know I probably know your card as well. Let's make it a little harder. I'm just gonna kind of shuffle the cards face up, face down, face up, face down, kind of like this. So I get this kind of a big old mess, right? And all you need to do is kind of square it up, and I'll show you, prove it to you. We got face down and face up cards. We got some face down, or excuse me, face up, face down cards. We got them kind of all kinds of different configurations of cards here. No real rhyme or reason to it. If I just set them all back down here, square it all up, I'll let you go ahead, put your hand on the deck and snap your fingers. Check this out. It's a miracle. Every single card is now facing the correct way, except for one. And that just so happens to be your selected card, the Ace of Clubs. So, this is a pretty nice little triumph. I just came out with it yesterday, to be honest with you, but I have a lot of triumphs that are very similar to this, so I kind of use this presentation in some of my other triumphs. But I remember it now. Now I remember how to do it. So, yeah, Mahatma control. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and we'll mix your cards somewhere into the deck so neither of us knows where exactly it is. Now while you're here, as you come square up, you're going to move to the high mechanic script for like the Cardini change. And what you're going to do is, as you're kind of squaring up this mess, you're literally just going to pull down like this and clean it up here. Alright, I had it looking really good the other night, but I haven't practiced it since then. But basically, with the Mahatma control, it gives you the perfect cover and justification to do this move. So you come, grab it here, reposition your hand like this. As you square it, you're going to pull that down like a Cardini. You're doing the Cardini move, and then you're going to square it up here, just like that. Now I have it reversed on the bottom. We can do any triumph configuration we want that requires face down deck, face up card. So one of the ones that you can do is the Divergence version. You know, very nice display at the end. I love the Divergent display. It's probably one of the most deceptive ones out there. And I do this little slop shuffle. So boom, you already know how to do slop shuffle. I'm going to get better at this too, because Tragic showed me some cool ways to make it look crazier, to move both hands when you do it. But basically now you can flash the bottom, right? Because this card is their card, but it gives a nice illusion that the cards... Hold on, that light is killing it. It gives a really nice illusion. The cards are really nice and mixed up, so you kind of flash some of the cards here. That, and it really does feel pretty convincing that it's all mixed, face up and face down. Now, this is just a classic Divergent display here, and you can do the Gerald display from here too if you want. I love the Gerald display, but if you don't have a table or whatever, so if I don't have a table, what I do is I actually acquire a pinky break from the natural break, and I'll do a half pass before I set it on the table. One card off here. It's kind of tricky to do. You gotta push down at the front of the deck, and then you'll get into that natural break. I think I just got it. This deck is not perfect for it, so I was off one card there. But a deck that's, if you've been using a deck for a while, it's pretty easy. So what you do is you turn it up towards your eye like this while you're talking, like you're just kind of looking at the deck, like somewhere in here, you know. So it's a nice little cover because you're gonna have to find that break there. This is for in the hands purposes, right? So if you're off one card, you can get close to natural break and just pull down right there. But you're doing that like kind of like this, like it's somewhere in here, and they can't see what you're doing. So I've just got myself a break on the natural break there with my pinky, and now I can kind of gesture and say, here, let's come over here, I'll show you. That was sloppy, but now it's done, you know. So I do the half pass and transit towards the table. I took one extra card with me there. So the configuration for this Triumph basically is you have one card this way, and then, yeah, so this is your configuration, right? Now, so to do the diverting display, which I think you know this already, but I'll briefly go over it again. You're just going to pick up above the break, show, and you're going to do this very, very fairly, very deliberately. Pick below the break, show. Sometimes I'll just pick above the break and then pick up at the natural break. I don't feel like I need to overprove it. Then you'll pick up at the natural break instead of flipping this around like everyone else does, which is not that deceptive. That's literally just, it works on like really unattentive people, but it's not the best, right? So instead what you're going to do is just going to pick up, flash this bottom, and say, well, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it all right here. And you square it up, and you're done. So what I did there is I reversed the bottom packet with the reverse card, and now we're perfect. And I really like this delayed reveal as well that you get with this. Or you can just spread the cards on the table. And it's a really nice, simple little Triumph there. So, and that's all moves that you know. You can do all that stuff. And honestly, it's a pretty damn good Triumph, I think. Yeah, I'll show you another one, actually, that I came up with yesterday as well. It's a little bit different. Let me just grab the aces here. I don't want to spoil the trick. Probably be better if you didn't know what was going to happen, but whatever. I'm too lazy to like perform it all and make a video right now. So, actually, no, I'm going to do something. I might actually, I might do something different. Oh my god. Oh my god. Shit. I need to work on this false cut more. I actually had it looking really good the other day. There we go. There we go. There we go. Alright, so anyway, false cut or whatever if you wanted to. You're going to need to get a break underneath the top four cards. That's the aces. But what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to shuffle these. You know, they're fairly shuffled, but you know, again, I'm a magician, so, but you can see they are pretty well shuffled here. But that's not really going to be that hard, so let me just go ahead and make it a little messier here. Right? And this one's a nice display too because you got the aces on the bottom. So you got this nice display that's pretty damn convincing that you got face up and face down cards here. Come square all that up. Now for this configuration, you won't be able to do the diverting display, so you have to find that natural break. Let me see if I got it right. Yeah, I think I pulled right to it that time. Certain decks, this is super easy. You just like put your finger right there and it'll just go right to the break. Yeah, so this time it worked out pretty good for me. So you press down at the front here with the thumb and kind of push up with the middle finger here. And usually, depending on the kind of deck you're using, it'll actually open up that break substantially. And you just be like, it's somewhere in here. You don't want to show the pinky, it's somewhere in here, right? And then now I have that break. So now all we do is, as I come set down the deck on the table, I come from here. Alright, that was a lot cleaner than last time. But yeah, now it's basically done. Now what I do is I snap my fingers, I say very carefully, I'll do this as fair as I can. I'll turn the deck end to end. I don't know what this is, sorry, that shouldn't be there. But then I'll say, look, every single card is now fake. Oh, shit. Well, every single card except for these, I guess I missed these, but you'll see every other card I actually was able to fix. You know what these cards are already, though. You know what these are, right? They have to be 4 aces. I forgot a paddle line there. So one of the paddle lines I use is I'm not going to show you a magic trick. I'm not going to show you a card trick. This isn't a card trick, so don't even worry about picking a card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you kind of a miracle, actually. I'm going to take half the deck. All right, I'm just going to, you can see they're fairly shuffled, but you know I'm a magician, so let's make it harder for me. Half the deck face up, half the deck face down. Just kind of no rhyme or reason to it here. It's kind of like this. So you can see that we really do have quite a mess of cards here. Face up and face down, and then boom, squares up. And then if I have this right kind of deck, I can usually acquire that break in one try. As I just peek my hand like this, get that natural break, and then say, look, all I got to do, set the deck down, boom, and very, very, very gently, as fair as I can. Look, I'm not doing anything. Every single last card now is facing the right direction. Except for these. Oops. Well, you can see every other card is now facing the opposite way. You probably know these cards already. You know what these cards are. You know they have to be the aces. So that's my little ace kicker ending there. So the spectator doesn't have to pick a card or anything on that one. I was thinking of a way we could do it with having their selection end up between the aces. That's another idea I was flirting with, but yeah, let me know if you like those. It's something that you can play around with. I just ask, please do not share the method of the entire effect, so people, I mean, a smart magician's gonna know how it's done anyway. But I want to build up like a bunch of different triumphs, because I feel like I specialize in triumphs, and I want to release something on Penguin or on Lost Art or something like that. I am talking with the mentor about getting some of my stuff up on Xavier Spade's site, the Lost Art Magic. So, or if anything, I'll get it up on Penguin or something like that. But so yeah, I just actually don't share that with anybody. But thanks for listening to me blabber on for a bit there. Yeah, hopefully you like those. And I actually have a few other triumphs I've been working on as well. But this half pass is really nice. Actually, here's another way that you can do the half pass. Me and Drastic came up with this last night. You spread the cards, and you just kind of show, like, you see all the cards or whatever. You do, like, it's basically like a spread pass, but you just never finish it. And you reverse the deck in that action. I haven't figured out how to use this with the Triumph yet, but I'm going to work on that probably in the next couple days. But I do like that. You can just be like, you see, like, all the cards are blah, 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 boom, you go here, you square it up. You actually just did a half pass right there. So, you know, you can think of different ways to utilize that as well for different routines and stuff. So, but yeah, it's the same thing as a spread pass. You come over, it flips here. Here, I'll just show you what it looks like in case you want to try this. So it's basically like you're doing a spread pass, boom, it turns over here, and then you just square it all up instead. And there are some triumphs where you want to have the cards already turned around before you start. Like Danny Ortiz has a little one like that. It's always awkward if you're trying to set up a triumph in front of them and you're like doing some all-around square-up thing like this, or like, you know. So that's usually what I do though. When I do my half pass, I'll just, before I start the trick, I'll just do it here before the trick starts, you know. And I usually add in that all-around square-up. But I'm trying to get away from that, if I can, just because it's not like the best option. So usually, yeah, just did one right there. So honestly, the half pass is the biggest sleeper move in Magic right now. It's the biggest sleeper move in Magic. It's very hard, but it's extremely awesome. It's just, you can invisibly reverse anything in the deck. It's so powerful. Like, the amount of shit you can do with it is just insane. Like, if you wanted to, you could just, like, even if you're just, like, pretending like you're squaring a deck, you can just do a little Cardini here if you're not comfortable passing one card on the bottom. And now I can just, like, talk and kind of risk go here and come back, have them place their card back in, right? But they don't realize the entire deck is faced the other way, right? And then you just do your little Cardini move and be like, whoop, just like that. Now your card's the only one in the middle, faced the other way. So that's another way of doing that trick that I showed earlier, that I posted the other day. But I mean, I like my version more. it's more fair. Like, it shows the whole deck the whole time, and all that fun jazz. But yeah, let me know if you have any ideas and stuff about how to use that Cardini move from a face-up deck. When you do it, it's just, it automatically just reverses that card on the bottom. So you can think of ways that you can use that for Triumph. That's pretty nice. But you're in this configuration Triumph. So from this configuration Triumph, you are able to, so this is more difficult to get out of, you know. You have to do a half pass or some cuts or something to get the deck back in order without the die burn-in. I like the die burn-in display though, so that's kind of why I showed you the other one. But yeah, if you want, we can talk about the half pass sometime. It's a pretty decent move. I'm not very good at it right now yet, but hopefully one day will be pretty sick at it. I'm just rambling on now, but yeah.